Good morning. I was trying to push this over to the group, but it's not working. But yesterday we had some other technical problems and the sound wasn't working, and so I just deleted that. So we're gonna do almost the same thing that we did yesterday. My mom was asking me questions about doing research. Actually, let's just start that whole conversation over. I was asking you if you had any questions, and you said no, not really.
Mostly about
Yeah.
research.
I
Finding
asked if you were
landing.
having any problems, is really what I was asking you. And you said no, just problems with finding landing zones. And I said, okay, well, each month, let's kind of pick a theme or a topic or a customer base to go after and then hone in on them as the months go on. And then we'll start doing like weekly check ins. And then whatever updates you have throughout the week, you can post them. So,
I will try.
oh, sorry. You said you were having problems with landing zones. I was just breaking down how to think about it. We have a research strategy, which is discover, understand, serve. We think about the customer first, then we think about the keywords, and we add in the product, and then we're looking for landing zones. I actually made you a little cheat sheet.
You did, which was very helpful.
I believe is this.
So I did add to it. Hopefully, did it? Yeah. No. Yes. So I add what I added to it at the bottom worked. So now, um,
Yeah, date specific stuff. I wouldn't do that either.
okay, that's what came up often. So
It's just gonna be like anything that's heavily trendy like that is just you're gonna be spending a lot of time, and I don't think it's worth it yet until you have like a system where you can go, oh, I can knock 50 of these out in a day.
okay,
I wouldn't worry
because I
about that.
saw a lot of 2018 and 2019 planners. So
You can
obviously not selling.
make generalized planners and still put the dates in the backend keywords, but I wouldn't spend the time to make them like that where they're dated out. You know
Okay.
that like reindeer planner had like just they didn't have dates in there. They were just saying Monday, Tuesday,
Right.
Wednesday. Make them like that.
Okay.
Um, shopping journal, snow globe, holiday dog. So what this was when I made this for my mother was just a way for her to follow a process to be able to build her system. So I said you want to start with a customer in mind, and then we said we're going after customers that are people that like Christmas because Christmas season is coming up, and you'll be able to jump on a seasonal spike where most sales are happening just to start getting some sales and understanding kind of how to target customers in a very specific way to show up on a landing zone.
Mm-hmm.
So we started with the Christmas customers. Then I was trying to help her with just narrowing that down to start niching down to avoiding competition. And we picked reindeer. And then from going to Amazon, we just started with the word Christmas. And then not even going to the products which are books or journals or notebooks or whatever, just using the word Christmas, we're leveraging Amazon to help us find what the customers want. So I was opening up listings like this that had some images on there so that we can go. Let me actually open this in another
Oh, are
window.
you good? Did you make sure that the microphone? Okay.
It was actually on because you can see it here moving.
Yeah.
Something happened with Facebook as I was pushing it over. The same kind of
Okay.
funkiness that's happening today, but I just can't get it to push over.
Okay.
So I'm just recording this straight from Zoom. And then my hope is to just put it onto YouTube and then upload it to Facebook.
Okay. Great.
In future, I'll probably edit it down and then like, oh, here's the most usable whatever pieces, and then we can do this live somewhere and people can watch it. I'm on Amazon, and I'm trying to avoid competition, eventually find landing zones, but just trying to pick up some keywords now that I have a customer to start with. I'm also trying to just niche down into a better, more targeted customer. So we're looking for additional words. Yesterday, we found reindeer as we were scrolling through. We just saw a lot of reindeer type products as we were looking for patterns here on this page. There's not as much reindeer stuff here now today, which is interesting.
Yeah, there was a lot yesterday.
But nonetheless, we found reindeer. We added it to the research template that I made for my mother. And then we used Christmas and reindeer together. And then started seeing what was coming up for those results. We didn't see any books right away, but we noticed that we went from 300,000 results down to 10,000 results. And this was at least good enough for us to start looking for additional keywords. So we were looking at these titles. We didn't pull up too much from this. So then we started typing in the product type, which is journal, is what we're going after. We also talked about it not auto-completing a lot of these.
You are.
AL?
Yeah.
Struggling right now. A lot of these are not auto-completing, and I said that's fine because what you're doing is researching Christmas, and Christmas is kind of far out. So there might not be a ton of people looking for this stuff right now, but you do want to see some sales and some resemblance of this possibly working. We were starting to, as we were digging down and finding more and more landing zones, there were some Christmas journals with reindeers on it, but they weren't specifically targeting reindeer customers. It didn't look like that was a good connection. So we kind of started dropping the reindeer at the end of the call and then finding other gaps in the market. So as we were looking for reindeer books, we were finding cats, dogs, penguins, Christmas tree, a lot of um, other sub niches to go after. And that's when I just told mom, okay, we'll start putting those here. So where you were seeing reindeer, could have had dog,
Oh, I didn't really get that.
cat,
I saw wine a lot.
wine. So I kind of wish that recording would have worked because there was a lot of bits of information. I just kind of wrapped that up in 10 minutes to get us here. But it was just starting with a customer base, finding keywords, and then I posted that here. Like you want to start with a customer base, you want to look for keywords, then you want to add products, then you want to look for landing zones. So they're like separate research stages that you can mentally think about. Because what I was having a problem with you is every time I was trying to explain to customers, you were jumping and saying, oh, we can add notebook, we can do all this stuff. And I was like, well, okay, let's think about it this way. Like if you're just doing customer research, what keywords would you use to more identify the customers, not necessarily the product? And that seemed to help like separate the two steps that I do at least. And then I was like, okay, well, this is how I do research. It's just much easier for me instead of just randomly thinking about something like the alphabet journals that you had and then trying to find keywords. I just start with the customers first and then start pulling keywords, then look for the products that they're purchasing. And if they are books or notebooks or journals or dot journals or whatever they're calling them, then I have a much better understanding of customer. Then I can start looking for landing zones because uh, I kind of have some keywords to help me with that next step.
Okay.
So we're going to start essentially over because we ran down reindeer and we both are on agreement that it's probably not the best.
Well, that's fine. I just I made the sheet, so I wanted to make sure this might not be where you want to go with this call, but my so I made the sheet. You showed me how to do it, and I wanted to go through what I did to see if I was like on the right path of how I was supposed to be working this.
Oh, well then send that to me and we can go over
So
that.
okay, so now you need to re-show me how to do the linking thing because that was on that call yesterday and that didn't get in. So I'm not sure how to do that. So you can go through that step by step for me.
What linking thing?
To take my sheet and put it so I can send it to you so you can edit it. Remember how I don't even know how to describe what it is, but I want to send you my sheet
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how to do that.
All right, we'll open it up on your computer.
So, okay, so, hmm. No, this is the sheet I made, and then I put tabs down at the bottom that I added the documents to that you showed me how to do that. But I want to send this to you. So maybe you could show me on your computer so it's videotaped.
Any of these Google Docs, if you just go up here to share,
Okay,
and then instead of hitting copy, hit this, and then you can click this drop down and just make sure it's editable,
okay,
and then copy, and then you can send it to me. I just think it's easier for me and you to use the Facebook Messenger.
okay.
So then if you just go
That
to
works
Facebook
because
Messenger,
it never gets deleted even when you click off of it. It's still on there, right? That's what I like about it. You can go back and look at the messages. All right, so let me see if I can do it back to you now. So I clicked on share, then I click on get shareable link, then I click on copy link. Oh, view, okay, and I'm gonna do can edit,
mm-hmm.
okay, then copy link, okay, and then go to Facebook, put it in the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
So I click on you, oh, and then just right click and paste. Is that how you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Oops, paste. And then the blue arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, hopefully, so this is, you have to go over this because if this is not how I should be doing it, then I'm doing it like wrong, whatever. So let me just,
It doesn't. It's
oh,
are you capable of doing it? We're trying to build a you a system. It's not necessarily the way I would do it. It's
okay.
so that you can make this work.
Well, this is how I kind of took what you told me about. So just, I probably don't need to do all this when I actually do it, but I did it so I could show you how I was thinking on a piece of paper, if that makes sense. So I wrote Christmas reindeer journal. That was what I typed in. Then that was the results, over 1,000 and high or no ranks. A lot of the products had no ranks, but I figured that's probably because the books are kind of new, because it looks like somebody else has that idea or a couple of like other people have that idea, whatever.
Keep talking. I'm
Okay,
trying to
so that
follow.
was not, so those weren't the results.
Those weren't the results.
I mean, the results were too high, so it's because I put past the 5-step test. I only got I wasn't sure. I got question marks on there, but and then I wrote like, okay, that's would be the landing zone found. And then what I did was make a document of the description and the keywords. So is that kind of like how the steps go
Yeah, I would just have like, where were you pulling the keywords from?
from the list that we made yesterday, like this
Yeah, I would
list?
just add this again to this so you can find it. So you can find it, because weren't you having a problems finding any of these?
Yes.
Yeah, so just keep this document open.
Okay. Good idea.
But yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. Reindeer, Christmas, journal, notebook, planner, diary,
So I went,
Xmas.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I went from that and added in those words. So then look at where it says Christmas reindeer planner. So that was the one I thought was a good landing zone. It came up with 755, so under 1,000. And then I did a document of the keywords and the descriptions. I clicked on all the different.
Yeah, I would make that document.
You told me I could put it.
Where is this?
Okay. Um, on the, I guess on the tab where I said keywords. And then there I wrote, okay, that's my landing zone, Christmas reindeer planner. Then that's the website I found. And
Wait, this is
then,
your landing zone?
yeah,
Okay.
is it making sense? And then that was the website is for like the page of Amazon where I found that. And then the document should be, you should be able to click on that. Oh,
You just need to make sure that it's
how do I?
editable. It doesn't, for this, it doesn't really matter, but like, I just think you're doing too much pre-work. Like, you should only do this after you have a solid results list and you know you want to move forward with it. That's why I said, like, just do the landing zones.
Well, that's why I was trying to see. Oh,
Like,
well,
if you're only finding like 5 or 10 not good landing zones, then I wouldn't move on. And you have like passes the 5-step test here, then you have passes the 5 test step here. Like, I wouldn't move any of these that weren't ones that you want to go after. So if it doesn't pass the 5-step test, but you have a different qualification that you're working off of, I would put that here. So it doesn't say, oh, fail, 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 fail for the 5-step test. I would just say, okay, I'm going after Christmas. I want a different way to validate these. Did it pass these new criteria? Like, is it at least selling a little bit? Is it doing something?
well,
Because
that's what I
reindeers are,
need you to look at because I don't know if that's if it's some a page that I should try to go
yeah,
after
but what I'm saying is you
or
did way too much. Like, all of this is way too much. Before I said just pull landing zones so you would know, is it worth going after.
I know, but that's I oh don't do the keywords. Well, I was already like there at the page.
Yeah, but what you're looking for is just landing zones.
Well, that's what I think that that's a good landing zone. That's what I'm saying. That's
It
why I
doesn't
put
matter
the
if it was good
keyword.
or bad. I said just from customers, because what I said is you were having problems with landing zones,
Right.
so I said, okay, let's work on that. So
Okay.
customers, keywords, products, landing zone is the only thing that you were just trying to do. That's what we spent all of yesterday on. And I said just find landing zones.
Okay. So, but in order for me to know if that's a good landing zone or not,
hmm You have to pull the keywords.
well, I don't have to pull the keywords, but I was already there clicking on everything. So, but anyway, that like, why would I have to go back to that whole thing again?
Because you don't know if it's worth going after. So if you find 100 landing zones, then you go, oh, this is more valuable than if you only find like 2 landing zones.
Okay, so I don't know if that's a good landing zone. That's the problem. All right, so that. What?
So if you don't know if it's a good landing zone, why did you pull all this? Because you said it was a good landing zone. What I'm trying to
Because I
say is
think it
what I
was.
asked you to do was just find landing zones, and then you went way too far, and that's why you spent a lot of unneeded time doing this. When I said just find, if you can find, I mean, I wish I had the recording because I told you exactly. Find 10 reindeer landing zones if you can, see what they look like, and then move on to another one, like dog or cat. And then I spent like 30 minutes explaining
Okay.
that dog
Oh,
and cat and
that's
everything
why
else.
I'm still like
Well, that's why I said
struggling with it.
just because you're wasting a lot of unneeded time. Like, how many listings did you put in here to pull this and then copy and paste this here? And then how much time was it to make these other? I'm not sure what you're doing here. You're just pulling other
So that's the
landing zones.
second landing zone. Well, I was trying to see if I could follow what you were telling me.
You know, this is not what I said at all.
Oh,
Just
okay.
find the landing zones. Just see if you can find landing zones. Because like I was saying, that you need more than just these 3 or 4 keywords. Are there other things that Amazon is telling you, or other keywords? Because I knew from the research that we did in that 10, 15 minutes that it's going to be hard to do this because it doesn't look like anybody's really necessarily buying reindeer Christmas anything. And reindeers aren't a new trend. Like reindeers have been around since
Mm-hmm.
forever. So if none of those are selling or have sold in the past, probably not good to do that again.
Oh,
Now, if it was
okay.
something like dabbing where it's a new trend and you're going after it, then make a lot of assumptions. But reindeer and Christmas have been around for forever, and the fact that they weren't selling, I wouldn't have spent any time there other than just looking for landing zones and seeing what it's looking like.
Okay.
That's what I thought I made that very clear yesterday.
Well, that's why I'm saying I still don't like it's still not clear for some reason.
Yeah, but what I'm asking you to do needs to get clear, obviously. Like when I
Okay.
said just find landing zones and then spent like the whole back half of that call explaining that piece, that was a little frustrating for me to just go, okay, well, like there when you said, oh, I filled out that list, and then I came here and there was you added maybe 3 things, 4 things, but I was telling you to find additional sub niches to go after, because that's going to be way more fruitful.
By looking at the titles of the journals that and the pictures
Well, I mean,
for
we
the
picked up a few of them. I
products.
mean, you picked up wine, but yes, going back to Christmas, and then even just doing Christmas journal. This might be easier for you. This isn't necessarily the way that I would do it, but maybe this way is the way I should have showed you. Christmas is the customers. Now we're going to journals, but there's way too many here. So we're going to have to find a sub niche to go after. So Christmas list, that could be one. You see reindeer again. That's probably going to be trademarked. That's going to be trademarked. Tree, snowman, Santa Claus, Santa Claus. Like, I don't necessarily want to start showing you a whole bunch of tools because I don't want to confuse you, but
Right.
it's hard when Amazon is not cooperating.
All right. So Well, just explain another way about the landing zones. If you get to a landing zone and there's other products besides just journals on there, I mean, I have a lot of questions like, okay, do I not go on that page? Second of all, do I count? It's like the top 10 have are selling. So do I go down and say the top 10, do I pick out all the journals and skip over the other products? It's like I have a lot of questions like about that, about each of the pages, how you determine what you're looking for.
Yeah, with Christmas or anything that's like months out, you have to take some liberties on guessing, because Amazon is selling a lot of other books in those spaces, or just those are outselling the Christmas stuff right now. But those landing zones will change once they get closer to Christmas. So I'll go back to reindeer and we'll just run down these that you have, and then I'll whatever questions you have for each one of these.
Well, maybe go to the ones that I thought were possible landing zones. So you could
Okay, so
explain yes
we'll
and
just go down all
no.
of these and say why did you think this was not a landing zone? Because of the amount of results?
Yes.
Okay.
So then do I just go on to the next word?
You can, but I would still, because this is so far out, try to gather more information here.
Okay, what other information am I trying to gather?
So what books are selling? It's like this one.
Okay.
And we can open up
Yeah,
this person's.
I did spend a lot of time like looking at them and seeing what was inside and all of that, and what was going on with them, trying to figure that out.
The ones that are selling.
Well, a lot of them had no ranks, but that's what
So then they weren't selling.
yeah, so do I not even like look at those?
Not really, because you just want to see what's selling and what the customers are actually buying.
So I'm just looking at the things that are selling
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
this
Okay.
person made this journal. Then they made a whole bunch of these. Well, I don't know about a whole bunch, but they made a couple of these. These two are selling, and it looked like those other ones were not. And he actually put a lot of stuff under his same pen name.
Okay, so the if an item is not selling, don't gather information from that.
And you can
Well, it said not ranked because they were like done just days ago, so it's like hard to tell. So somebody's putting up, well, not just someone, a lot of people are just putting up journals now.
see, and this is what I think is happening too, is a lot of people are just putting up, they're seeing dinosaur and they're making a dinosaur journal, but they're not really targeting any specific audience. Like Dinosaur Notebook, there's too many other people doing the same thing, and Amazon is probably suppressing a lot of these that just have Dinosaur Notebook.
Okay.
So what you want to do is like pick a certain dinosaur or something like that. The same thing for like Christmas Notebook or Christmas Journal or Christmas whatever. There's just too much competition, so you
Okay.
really want to hone in on a certain customer. So
Okay.
Reindeer Christmas Journal or something like that.
Okay.
So we're trying to find what is that smaller, like I said with the pie. Think
Mm-hmm.
of what you're doing as a pie, and you just want to get a very small piece of the pie and target those customers. But you want to make sure that the customer is actually there and not just assuming that, oh, people are going to be buying reindeer Christmas journals. You don't necessarily know right now. So you're
Right.
using Amazon to leverage to help you understand, is this something worth going after? Is it too small where there's no customers there? Or is it too big where there's too much competition there? You're trying to find that sweet spot. It's
Okay.
not an exact science, but at least using Amazon, you have a much better understanding. So by looking at the reindeer journals that are selling, and those are a sub niche that we are targeting, you can start gathering information there and then going, okay, there's not going to be a specific landing zone that I can target, but at least I'll be able to understand what those customers are buying. They're buying this patterned journal. They're buying this red and white cartoony journal. they're buying this, another cartoony with the same colors with red, green. Like that's the information you should be pulling.
Okay, that's what I need to know. What's the
But that's like the
information?
first step in the customer. So
Okay.
you're just trying to like better understand the customer. But as you go down the line, you're still thinking about the customer. That's why I said it's like a funnel. You never lose thinking about the customer. You never lose pulling keywords. You never lose like the product that you're going after. But ultimately, you're trying to find a landing zone. The landing zone for Christmas or anything is going to be a little watery because there's not enough traffic coming
Right
for
now.
Amazon to see the customer paths.
Right.
And it looks like what they're doing is deleting 12 months ago what it was working and then just letting it go dormant again. And then whoever starts coming and searching that stuff, there'll be a new customer path,
Okay.
which is good for us. We just have to know when is that customer path develop and then how do we get our products in front of those customers. So the farther out you are from the actual date, the more guessing you're gonna have to do,
Mm-hmm.
but then going into it. So that's why I said like I wouldn't make 1,000 reindeer journals, but I might make, depending on speed, like how many you can make a day, I'd maybe spend a week on just reindeer journals. If you were able or felt confident enough to know I have a decent idea of what they're looking for, and I kind of know where I want these to show up.
Okay, that's the part.
It's not exact science. You have
I
to
know that's
guess
the
and
part I'm
test.
trying to figure out. Like, what are those keywords, or what is that landing zone that I want to try to get to try to figure out where to put those journals.
So these books that are working, I would say like wherever these books are showing up, that's kind of where you want to show up. I know that's probably hard to think about right now, but um, their titles are a good place to start. So Christmas Notebook is more than likely what his book is called, what he has on the actual side. I don't know what this Robin and Reindeer is. It might be an actual thing. I saw you copy that down too. Or maybe it's Roger the Reindeer. Hmm. Okay. But Christmas Notebook is, I don't know, maybe teaching you in a different way instead of thinking about landing zones because I think you're just getting hooked up on the wrong stuff. And as long as you have an idea and can start putting some pieces together and going, I'm going to make 25 books with this idea, that would be my goal.
Okay, well, I
Getting
haven't
it in
got
front
that
of
idea.
customers. Well, you have Christmas and reindeer, and you can make reindeer type books.
All right, but I don't want to like waste my time making that. If it's
There is no wasting your time right now. What you're doing
okay.
is doing the actions. You know, like when they do in karate and they wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
It might feel like you're wasting your time, but you're actually building up muscle memory to figure this stuff out. And then the more that you feel like you understand, or at least have confidence, or at least have um, the repetition in it, you're gonna start seeing patterns, and this will start becoming like second nature. You go, oh, I've looked at enough of this before that this is clicking.
Well, that's why I wrote the list so you could see how I was working. So if that's a good way to
Yeah,
do it or
the
not,
steps
because I
that
don't
you
want to
took,
be going the wrong
the
direction.
steps that you took are what I said to do,
Okay.
but my thing was start looking at the products there and see if it's worth going after. And I guess that might be
So I
too difficult right now because it's making a lot of leaps in understanding, knowing that it's going to be seasonal, knowing that it's Amazon. Like there's a lot of stuff that you just don't know. And the way that I've
yeah.
been teaching you is like look for these patterns, but we look for those patterns in like evergreen. trends or
Okay.
evergreen products or evergreen customers, not necessarily seasonal. Like
Okay.
when you go after seasonal things, it changes. You're doing a lot of speculating and then testing. And the only way to like do the next step is to test. So gather enough information to make you feel comfortable to make 25 journals. So don't worry too much about the landing zone. The landing zone itself can just be
Well, all right, go back to my sheet. So then I'm following you. I'm understanding. Okay, so see like this one that says Mary Writing Journal. That must be something that some people are typing in. I'm imagining is what's happening. I got 6 was the results.
did it autocomplete?
No. Oh, so
So
nothing.
then it's not nobody's typing this in.
Okay. So if it does not autocomplete, then it is not
And
something that
and when
customers are
Amazon,
typing in.
yes, but because you're so far on Christmas, it could just be that Amazon's not showing that information. And when it comes time, customers will be typing that in. That's why I
Okay.
said it's like a lot of speculating, and it's not probably the best place to teach you.
All right. Well, no, I'm trying to understand. I'm
But with
trying to
if I
follow
put
you.
like something like this in, and Amazon is saying, "Oh, did you mean Murray?"
Right. And I typed that. I put that in my on my sheet because that must be some brand of something. I guess I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I don't know what that is.
Amazon is just like, oh, they might have made a mistake because there are no results here, and we're just trying to show them something. And the fact that nobody has that in their title, like Mary writing, would let me know that probably
Oh,
customers are
it'll
not
have
typing that in
what you're typing in should come up in the title.
somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't putting that together.
Well, that's why I said like the more you do the research, the more those things will stand out to you. That's why I said like
Okay.
when I'm looking at the title, I know visually we're doing the same thing. We're both looking at the title, but my brain is doing something completely different than yours. Like I'm not like reading this. I'm just like looking here and all of these words are standing out to me just because I've
Okay.
been doing this for so long. That's why
Right.
like when I'm looking at it, it's hard for me to like explain what I'm doing because I already know like there's nothing here that's going to help me better understand these customers and it's not selling. And we've seen this type of style before and that type of style on other things has not sold.
Okay.
But like I don't know how to explain that to you other than like I've been doing this for so long and I'm just like paying attention to everything we're doing.
Right. Well, and I'm trying to get all those pieces and do it, but I need each of those pieces to know what to
Clarified.
look for.
Yeah.
Right. So
And
even
the fact that it's not like a yes or no, that's where it gets even harder. Where it's like what I'm ultimately looking for is just I'm looking mentally at all of the information and making a decision to move forward or not. And as we did it yesterday, I was like, it's probably not worth it just because of all of the hour that we spent clicking around. I was like, reindeer is probably not a place to go because there's not enough similarities in everything that I'm seeing for me to feel comfortable knowing what the customers are looking for.
okay.
That is not something that you're going to learn today or this
Well, I
week.
guess I
It's just
had
a
to do it for myself to
exactly.
see what you were seeing, and then that's kind of what I
So
did.
doing those steps is what I would do, but because you haven't done this for 15 years, what you're seeing is the same thing that I'm seeing, but you're not pulling the information like how I pull the information.
Right.
So I don't know how to
That's what I was trying to follow. So for me, I guess if you're showing me the thing, then I have to do that thing. You're trying to tell me to, you're showing me to do the thing, and then you're telling me to
think,
gather,
yeah.
yeah, do it another way or whatever.
So
And I
I'll do
don't
like
work
this
that
then.
way.
Let's just drop the landing zones for right now
Okay.
because I think in anything seasonal, it's going to be too difficult for you to follow completely and just go, this is the idea that we have. Reindeer, Christmas. Let's follow this through and make. How many books do you think you can do in a week? Or how many books can you do in a day?
I, I don't know, probably. I haven't done it. I probably, I don't know. I'd have to see.
Okay, well, how many books have you done in the past in a week?
In a week, I don't know how to answer that question because like the other day, I did a book pretty quick, but um, it was because I did a picture, a photograph, not, um, you know, how Nathaniel moves the type around and
Okay,
all
so
that stuff and everything.
this is something that me and Nathaniel are trying to do is pick homework for people. I always want to stretch people and give them a homework assignment, like you the other day when I was like, make a book today, and you're like, oh, I'm never like, and then you do it. Like I feel gives you extreme confidence. Now, if I would have told you that and you didn't get it done, you would have been extremely close to, or at least having problems to come back and ask like, hey, I almost got this done in a day, but it didn't quite because of, or you go like, there was no way I was ever going to get this in a day because of, and
Mm-hmm.
then be able to come with why you didn't. So I'm going to say, I think you can get 25 books done fairly easily in a week. So I'm going to say that is the homework. You're leaving.
Well, I need to focus on whatever, like, I can't just make 25 books. Like, I can do it physically, but I need to know, all right, am I doing 25 like with the reindeer theme or the Christmas theme or
Well,
a
that's why
tree theme
I feel like
or,
you're not listening now. Didn't I
okay,
say let's focus in on the reindeer
okay.
and just make a set amount of books on that?
All right, well, you didn't say that specifically. I'm
I
like,
feel like I did. We'll go back and watch it
okay, all
together actually,
right.
because that's what I see. It's like I talk to you, Desi, sometimes, and I just feel like what in one ear, what the other. But focus on Christmas reindeer. Go through those same steps that you did. See if you can try to see or understand why certain things are selling and be able to make 25 books from that.
Of the ones that are selling.
From patterns that you see that are working. Not necessarily like, oh, we'll find one that's actually selling. Oh, this one's working. I'll make this. This one's working. There's 10 other ones that are working. What is here
How
that
do
I
you
can
know,
pull
how do you
information?
say that is working? What makes you say
It's
that
selling.
is working?
It's
Okay,
sold. And
okay,
it's selling very well.
okay. So that one is selling. Okay,
So from ones that have a BSR.
okay. Because I mean, yesterday I didn't even know. Like, I was clicking on the ones that were new journals, but it's like, how do you determine if that's, I know it's not selling because it doesn't have a BSR, but it was just put up. So, like, do you just ignore those? You don't even look at those.
I mean, you can look at them and see because they showed up in front of you, so they did something right.
Right.
So you can look at them as far as like the keywords go, but I wouldn't necessarily pull out like cover ideas.
Okay. So get the cover ideas from the ones that are selling. Okay.
And I would gather like I would use those as more of a guide, the ones that are selling, because those actually have gotten in front of customers and have sold.
All right.
The journals that you're seeing are doing step one. They're getting in front of customers. Because the customers are not there yet, you don't know if those covers are going to work or not.
Okay. So whatever they put in on their title or the back end is making that show up. Okay.
So your homework is to put together next week 25 reindeer journals. Do you feel like that's a unattainable?
No, but so what am I putting on the journal for words? Like
Like,
any of those what I thought was possible keywords of my list?
I mean, you can, but what I would really do is just start over and then go, okay, let me see, let me start gathering all the books that are working. So instead of finding landing zones, let me go and try to find all the reindeer books that are working that I can, and then pull information from them.
Pull the information of
The
the
titles,
okay.
the keywords, where they're showing up,
How do I know where they're showing up?
because they were on a landing, they were on a
Oh,
results page.
okay.
Like you won't just go to Amazon and this will come up. Like this is what you typed in to find this. And
Okay.
as you were typing in more things, like uh, I don't think reindeer riding is going to be all that good,
Well,
but
that didn't autocomplete, but then because there was only
it
nine.
doesn't matter about the auto completing
Okay.
because there's not enough traffic here to to say that this stuff is auto-completing or not. What I'm saying is this book is probably showing up in multiple places, and you should start picking up on that.
Oh, so if you see a book show up more than once.
Then that should like mentally move up in your head like, oh, this book is probably working a lot better than the rest of them because it's getting in a lot more places.
Okay. So see something like that. I didn't even like know that.
So like this, we've seen this one before, correct? And we've seen this one before. We probably didn't see that one today, but we've seen that one before. I would just like, as you're doing the research, you're gonna see this stuff. Do you remember seeing this
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff where you go, this one's not selling, but it keeps showing up in all of these places.
Okay.
They must have done a really good job with their keywords.
Okay, well you say that. But I don't know to say that.
Yeah, but the fact that it's showing up on multiple results pages means that Amazon has indexed them for a lot of different keywords.
Okay.
When these people are building listings, they're not targeting any one specific landing zone. We teach that to help people wrap their head around what's actually going on. When you make a book, it shows up all over the place, but you want to at least try to target one customer path to help
Okay.
you out. The more customer paths that you target, the
The
better.
better,
But
right?
that's like, that takes a lot of understanding. So to help people in the beginning, just like focus on one and then see if it's showing up on that one.
Okay.
Then as you get better, then you don't have to really think about the landing zone. You just think about, oh, here are my customers, the reindeer Christmas customers. What are the keywords that they're using? And what are the more common keywords that they're using? Is there space for me to compete there? What's like the second most common way that they're searching? Is there a way for me to compete there? And then go down all of those. Like you'll have multiple landing zones and be able to pick where you would like your book to show up more and then make that your title, or at least target your title towards that landing zone. You're
All
kind of
right.
doing it,
Backwards.
not you specifically, but I think when people are building a listing, it's like you're doing all that in the background, you just don't know about it. But that's because like this, even showing you this, there's so much information that it bogs you down. If I had to go, okay, where are the 10 places that Christmas reindeer customers are going? But if you can find one landing zone, then you have like at least one customer path and can start going, oh, okay, they search this way. Most of these customers put journal at the beginning, or most of these customers put journal in the middle, and most of these they're typing in Christmas journal, not finding it, and then typing in other things behind it.
So 25 journals, is that 25 different titles and with similar art or 25 different
I'm not
pieces
gonna
of
say any of that
art?
because
Or, oh,
all I'm saying is the end goal is 25 listings.
okay.
That's why I said it. It shouldn't be that difficult, but pull from books that are working and even books that you're seeing multiple times to see if you can compete with them. Where are they showing up? How are they showing up? What does their titles look like? Are they putting composite notebook as the actual title, and then they have a whole bunch of other keywords in the subtitles, and they're probably putting sloth and llama and reindeer and all kinds of things in their back end, which you don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
But at least if you're trying to, you're really just looking at like the surface of the iceberg. There's a lot more stuff going on underneath the surface, but I just need you to like see the surface and be able to do something with that information.
Okay.
As you do it more and are better and go, oh, I can knock out 100 journals in a week. Now I just need to work on a better system of figuring out what those customers are actually looking for. That's the next step. So you were looking for landing zones, and I said, let's go back to the customer to the keywords, and then just stop there and then go to try to make a listing. Well, products, customer, keywords, products, drop the landing zone portion, gather all that information, see what you gather, and then make journals
Well,
from
you
there.
still need to click on a new, open in a new page, all those journals to see the information. And since I was doing that, that's why I was collecting that information.
Yeah, and I said don't do that because it's not worth because we don't know if we're going to go after reindeers and you're spending a lot of extra time. Now we're going to go after the reindeer journals just because it makes it easier for you to just pick one thing and stick with it for the week.
Okay. So I'm still gonna look through all the journals that appear to be either showing up more
Yeah, what I'm
often.
saying now is because I saw what you did, I'm just gonna dash what I talked about on, not completely throw it away, but just put aside some of the stuff that I talked about yesterday and just build a system for what you're already doing. Because
Okay,
this is not the way that I would do it,
well
but
that was what I interpreted what you said yesterday. That's why I wrote it on here
well,
to show
I
you.
broke down looking for a customer base that's worth going after. But because you don't know or have that experience, I guess that's what was hard for you to like go through all this. Because I was saying, go through all these and see what's selling and see if it's worth your time to build these reindeer journals.
Well, the only ones that I collected keywords on was the ones that I thought were possible landing zones.
Yeah,
So,
but I guess the landing zones is what the missing or the additional piece that made it more difficult. Like you should still do research like you're looking for landing zones, but not necessarily only look at the ones that are landing zones because they're not even really landing zones because they don't have enough sales.
right.
But just looking for patterns in the journals that are selling or the
Okay.
ones that you continue to see.
Okay.
So I would even just use all of this that you have and just go through each of these and go, what journals are sticking out to me? Can I find, and maybe this is just a more one-to-one easier way of doing it. Can I find 25 reindeer journals that are selling and then make 25 from those?
Okay.
Because that's probably not a great way in the future to do this, but it's a way to get it done right now and maybe connect some dots to go, I have an idea, Christmas reindeer, how do I execute on this idea to get X amount of books up?
All right.
And this is a way of doing that. And I think if you do this and can whatever problems that you have, bring them up to me, but then be able to go, okay, this is just like the monogram journals. I had they might work, but I think it's a low success rate that you're going to have. This is the same thing. I think you can get this done, but it's probably going to be another low success rate. But it's going to teach you, okay, instead of just having idea, now I can go to Amazon and gather information and better understand customers and see patterns. And that's what I'm really trying to do.
Yeah,
Can I,
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
yeah, can I start with an idea as far as just customers that like Christmas and then use Amazon to get here instead of just going, oh, I have an idea for making covers. And I'm just going to go to Amazon and see what's there and try to sell. Because remember how difficult that was to find all that stuff?
Yeah, I don't have an idea, but that's why I'll look and see
Well,
what's
you
selling.
don't have an idea, but we started with customers that like Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you remember how we got to like
Yeah,
reindeer? We
because
were
it
just like,
was
that's what I say.
green and
So
red
now
and white.
anything, you just, even the, whatever you made that quick journal on, I don't know what it was, but you could have taken something from there and go, who's the customer here? And then started just like how we did Christmas and just type in that one word that you think would have identified that customer. Then being able to gather even more information and make more books than just the one.
Yeah, that's the part I'm still struggling
Yeah,
with.
so I think
Whatever.
this
Okay.
exercise will help you get that information out.
All right. And then yeah, I have no idea if I try to. It might take me all day to do one journal. I don't know.
I think it's gonna start hard, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe like you'll be probably frustrated and not know exactly what to do. But then like going later in the week, you'll be able to go, oh, I can do it this way and get the books up this way. So I don't think you're gonna do like five and then five and then five and then five. I think you're gonna do most of them later on in the week. At least that's how I think it's gonna go.
All right. Well, because I mean, to do the art and then do the composition or the
That's why I
description
said like
and
anytime where you go,
everything.
hey,
It's
this is
like,
I think this is taking too long or this was the part that I'm stumbling on, then come back to me and
well,
say this is what I
everything's
was saying.
taking long. I don't know.
All right, whatever prevents you from getting the 25 journals up. Did I say
Okay.
20 or 25?
25.
Yeah,
Oops.
25.
All right.
Christmas reindeer.
REIN.
I'm just going to say books
All
up.
right. So that how I did that is not how you wanted, how you think it's a good way to do the collecting of the information? Because
If it works for you, then that's fine. That's why I said this is not the way that I would do it, but just from seeing you do this and seeing that you can do this, let's start building off of this. Did you watch that video I sent you where me and Nathaniel were working together and it was just Nathaniel in red?
yeah,
Yeah, so that's what this is. This you're
okay,
just like this is the process. It's gonna be bad in the beginning. Period. There's no way of getting around that. So can we make it better? Is this working for you? Let's find something that's working first, period, before we go and try
all
to
right. Because
adjust or
I
fix
mean, this
anything.
was like hard. It was hard to do that, to even make that sheet, whatever. I mean, it's like a lot of parts to it that are difficult for me.
Yeah, and just repetition, you'll
Yeah,
find it easier. But then in the repetition, you'll be like, you know what? I'm spending a lot of time just pulling these keywords, and almost all of these keywords are the same. Why should I pull the keywords for every landing zone when they're the same? Maybe I should just wait to the end and then open up all the listings and dump all that information into one, and then that will be my master list, and then I'll have those keywords, and then I'll design per results page that I'm going after.
okay,
Again, this is future stuff that you're going to do, but just from repetition is what's going to help you with that.
all right, okay,
So the goal is 25 Christmas journals. However, you can get that done. But my suggestion would be to look at all of these results pages and see if you can look at patterns.
okay,
So when you go back and watch this long video, when it pops up out of our screen and goes to our faces, I'll talk to my mom who's watching now. 25 reindeer Christmas journals. All of the results pages that you looked up already that you were trying to find landing zones with, using the keywords that we gathered in the customer gathering section, or wherever you can gather more keywords and say, oh, I think planner or any other keywords to help you find more results pages to see more patterns, do that. Look at as many results pages that you need to find, again, another one of my suggestions, 25 journals that are selling.
okay,
And then maybe try to draw inspiration from those and make 25 journals. This is not necessarily how I would build your ultimate system, but it's a way to get this process done to help you learn a process to build a system.
okay.
So what I'm really ultimately trying to show you is, can you make 25 journals in a week? What problems could you possibly have? And are you able to identify enough information to make you confident to make those 25 journals?
All right,
So, like I said, I think you're going to see a lot of patterns in the books. You're going to see ones continuously coming up. That's one that I would open and just say, hey, what is this person doing that I constantly see this book? What does their title look like? And you can even look at their description, even though it's not selling, just for additional information to get you more familiar with things that Amazon prefers and putting there. And then things that are selling, I would definitely spend more time looking at that stuff and go, okay, what does the cover look like? Because someone actually purchased this. So that means they went beyond just what Amazon's algorithm wants. They actually got a purchase. So what did that customer see to make them want to purchase this? And from all these other journals that are selling, can I look at all of them together and figure out, oh, most customers that are buying these types of journals like,
so the ones that are selling just have a BSR,
mhm,
not just whatever the number is, doesn't matter.
what, yeah, the BSR number does it, like that one that we saw that had 7 million.
Yeah,
My
that
assumption is
doesn't
it probably
matter.
sold last year and has not sold again.
Okay,
But yeah,
so
the
that
fact that
doesn't,
it has sold
okay,
is valuable information to you.
okay,
Customers found it and they purchased it. That's what you're trying to do. So what did that person do to get in front of the customer and have a sale?
all right, because it doesn't get a BSR unless it had a sale.
Yes.
Okay,
There are some exceptions to the rules, but
okay,
for now, if it has a BSR, you can make the assumption that it has sold
all right,
and just pull more information from those.
Okay.
And then if you
Yeah.
can't
I
even
mean,
find 25 that have sold, then whichever ones have sold, can you gather enough information to make 25?
okay.
Okay.
I mean, just assumed they got a BSR because it was a book. I didn't know if it had,
You get to ISBN because it's a book,
right,
but it doesn't
but it
get a
doesn't get a
BSI.
BSR. It'll say no rank. It could say that for 5 years if it never sold once. Okay. I didn't know that part. So,
I mean, you did, and you might have forgot it, but
oh,
that's how we used to scan books, remember?
right, because had a low BSR.
Hmm.
But I
They were
didn't
selling
know,
more.
well, I didn't know they didn't have a BSR at all.
Yeah, because we would scan books and there would be no BSI. And then I said, oh, they never sold, and we don't want those books that have never sold.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's why I said you might not remember it, but we had that
I just
discussion for
thought
sure.
because they were just newly made, because a lot of them had September dates on them. September 2019, which is right, this is this month. So they didn't have sales or they didn't have a BSR because of that.
Yeah, they did because they haven't sold.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was because it was so new, like newly put on Amazon.
No.
Oh, okay.
Seller, bestseller rank. It needs to sell to have a rank.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
All right, thanks guys for joining us, and I'll put this recording up hopefully tomorrow or today, later today.
All right.
If you have any questions, Ma, we can do this again, um, maybe even next
Wednesday.
Friday or Thursday. That
Oh,
way it's a little later in the week, so you're not like,
one more. We're gonna do it one time next week.
yeah.
Okay,
I mean, if
not
you want to do it more times, then that's fine.
okay.
If you
Let's
want to
see.
do it on
Well,
a
if I'm having
Wednesday
a
and
lot of
then,
problems by
yeah,
Wednesday.
we'll do it like that. Because I have like
I know you got a lot of
4 months
stuff
of
going
content to go through, and then the rest of the year to plan out. So
on. Okay.
that's what I've been trying to just like edit those videos, figure out what we're doing, the direction that we're moving in. Yeah, a lot of thinking. But this I think is good because it allows me to like see the people that I might ultimately be helping with all of these edits and just trying to put myself in the mindset of these people might be struggling in places that I'm not even aware. How can I at least make this content usable for all these people? And as we walk through this Discover, Understand, Serve over the last 3 months, plus the videos that we just did for Nicole, how can I put all of that information together to like give somebody a very good understanding of what they're looking for?
Well, everybody's on such a different level. I mean, I'm like at the way bottom. I have a lot of people
Yeah, and that's what we're
they're
just
like,
trying to
oh
give
my
them
goodness, this is killing me.
we're just trying to give them a path to follow. So regardless of where you're at, start here,
Yeah.
end here. What is it that I ultimately want to tell them on this path is what I'm thinking about. And yeah, keep the pacing good enough so that people that have been doing this for a long time don't get like, okay, I don't care. And the people that are
Right.
just starting off, it's not too fast for them. It's going to be leaning more towards the people just starting off because merch, I think, is a beginner level thing. So it's going to be geared a little bit slower. So the people that have been following us for a while, they might be like, oh, this is too slow or what. But that's not going to bother me because ultimately it's for the people that don't know us, don't know anything about any POD, don't know nothing about merch. Like that's what it's more geared towards.
Okay.
Time will tell if I did a good job or not. But just like you trying to do this reindeer thing and can you do 25 in a week? That's where I'm at with the teaching stuff. It's like, can I actually just like, we did 3 months worth of content plus probably another 3 months packed into 1 month this month. Can I take all that information and build something for somebody? And will they like it or dislike it? And how did that process work? And can I take enough bits of information from that to build a system so now that me and Dana do the next 3 months, we have a better understanding of what we're doing. Just like you, everything is a little foggy moving forward, but after
Mm-hmm.
you do it, you can look back and go, okay, I did these things. These will help me when I do another set of 25 journals for Christmas tree or whatever the next thing is that
Mm-hmm.
you're going to pick.
Yeah, I definitely can see how it's building, but I'm still in the fog.
Yeah, but the fact that you started and knew absolutely nothing about KDP to where you're at now, like you feel comfortable creating the book, right? You know all the information that you might need. You're building some templates to make it quicker and easier. You actually made a book. You got a good amount of books up. Like you've done a lot already, and it's only the first month. That's why I say just like putting in the work makes it better.
I'm trying.
All right, my love you.